Page 66, going through the homework. First question is kind of review of the circles we were cutting at the end of last week. It says the radius of a circle is r, the circumference is 2 pi r. How does that picture help explain why the area is pi r squared? Well, this is looking more like a rectangle, as we mentioned last week. The more we cut those in half, the less angle this has. So let me ask you what the curved part here represents. The circumference, right? That is the length of my rectangle. So if I would make it a rectangle, let's say this is my length, what part of the circumference is that? Is that the whole circumference? Or is that half the circumference? That's half the circumference, right? The other half is down here. When you look at a rectangle, you don't look at both lengths, you only need one, right? So what is half of diameter times pi? Yep.
Radius.
The radius times pi. So if half of that is radius times pi, do you remember what my height of this rectangle represents? What part of this original circle?
Radius.
That would be the radius. So what is radius times pi times radius? Radius squared times pi, which is what the area of the circle is. Okay, so I took half of the circumference, took it times the height, half of circumference, took it times the height, and I got the area formula. That's what I wanted you to find. Question number 2. Circle circumference is approximately 76, so not exact, approximately. Estimate the radius, the diameter, and the area. Okay, so it does say estimate, so I probably should put squigglies here instead of equals. So instead of dividing by pi, is there, since it says estimate, another number I should use? Divide by 3. Pi is really close to 3. And do I want to stay 76? Go to 75. Okay, so I'm going to use 75 here, and I'm going to use 3 for pi because it says estimate. So if the circumference is 75, remember circumference means diameter times pi. So if I divide by 3, that should tell me the diameter. What is 75 divided by 3? What? Yeah, it takes 3/4 to get to 75, and that's in centimeters. So what's my radius? And again, you didn't have to have these exact. You could have something close, that would be fine. Area. So do you want to use 12.5? Want to use 12? 12? Okay, what's 12 times 12? Times 3. We're using 3 for pi. About 432 centimeters squared. Again, you did not have to have that exact answer. It does say estimate. So just put your squigglies in there. You should be just fine. Question number 3. This one does not say estimate, so we need an exact answer. Jada paints a circular table that has a diameter of 37 inches. What is the area? Okay, so the diameter is 37. I need to get the radius. What's half of 37? Brody? 18.5. So that's my radius. So I need to take 18.5 times 18.5. Does anybody have that? Kaylee? 25?
Yeah.
And then you got to take that times pi. So again, should be showing our work there. A lot of you did. Thank you. Anybody have that one? I'm going to double check you. Kaylee? What do you got?
1,074.665 inches square.
Okay, that's correct. That would be the exact answer. Again, if you don't want to list all those decimals, you could go 6, 7, just show approximately whatever you wanted to do. Since we have it all, I'm just going to leave it. And again, we cannot estimate that one. We can't use 3 for pi unless the directions would tell us that's okay. Question number 4. Talking about the carousel. Kieran is riding on the inner ring. Has a radius of 9. Maya's riding on the outer ring, so it must be a bigger circle that horse is making. 8 feet further. So 8 feet further than 9. So that circle should be 17 as a radius. In one rotation, how much farther does Maya travel than Kieran? Yes.
56.52.
All right, so that would be the circumference, and you're taking the diameter times pi. 18 times 3.14. What did you say it was?
56.52.
Is that exact? What's that? Just wondering if I need squigglies.
I got the circumference of both of them and then subtracted.
All right, 18 times 3.14, 56.52. That is exact. So I do not need squigglies. What's the diameter of this circle?
the
34 times pi. Anybody have that one? Kinley.
106.76.
That sounds right. Yep. All right, how much farther did Maya travel then? So why don't you subtract these two to see how much further Maya travels. We'll give you a second for that. Brody.
50.24 feet.
Meters? Or is it feet? If it's feet, I had all these wrong. Okay, just had to subtract the two answers. Question B, one rotation takes 12 seconds. How much faster did Maya travel? Okay, so how much further would Maya going? 50.24 in 12 seconds. So we got to take 50.24 divided by 12. And I know this isn't going to come out nice. At least I don't think so. 12 into 50. 12 into 22. And I think that'll be just fine. I'll go about 4.1. That would be feet per second. So you are traveling faster on the outside, obviously, to go around there. Yes?
I did something different, but I got the same answer.
Okay.
I did 56.52 divided by 12 and got that answer. And I did 106.76 divided by 12 and I got the answer, and then I subtracted those two numbers.
Yep, so you got the difference after you did it. We used the difference from this one and divided it right away. So, same thing. Doesn't matter. You got 4.1 regardless? All right. Perfect. All right, last question, number 5. Coin rolls a distance of 33 centimeters in 5 rotations. What coin is it? Kellen, how do you know that?
Because I found one circumference.
All right, so you took all these times pi and got the circumference. Took it times 5, it was close to 33. Okay, so you're looking for a circumference probably around 6. A quarter makes 8 rotations. How far did it roll? Does anybody have the circumferences all written down? Kellen, you got them all?
The quarter I have 7.5.
Okay.
The dime I have 5.7.
Okay.
Nickel I have 6.6.
Okay.
And penny I have 6.9. Those are all like a
Right, that's fine. So you took diameter times pi. All right, a quarter makes 8 rotations, so we'll use Kellen's number here. If you use something different, that's fine, as long as it's close. One time around the quarter is 7.5, and it's going around 8 times. How far does it go? Boston? 52.8. I'm guessing that's about then? Centimeters. A dime rolls 41.8. How many rotations did it make? So one rotation's 5.7. So 5.7 times what will get us close to 41.8? No, it's not going to be that much. Dime is 5.7 times something is 41.8. So even if you rounded this to 6, 6 times what's going to get us close to 41? 7. 7. Boston, I think you use the diameter instead of the circumference. All right, so quite a bit of multiplying on that one, which we will have today when we're talking area as well.